Alright, so today we're going to be in a little bit of a different set. Today we're in my dingy dungeon basement where I am, as you can see, still building out my shop. This is not the final product at all. Like, I don't want to show you any more than what I want to because I'm kind of embarrassed by how unfinished this is yet, but we're working on it. Honestly, like, anything behind this camera, it's like half a basement worth of Halloween decor and half a basement worth of Christmas decor because my wife likes Halloween, I love Christmas, so we are just busting out the seams in holiday decor. So right now we're trying to, you know, fight each other on what we can and can't purge. Like, I'm telling her to get rid of some of her pumpkins. She's just like, you don't need 20 wreaths. And I'm just kind of like, well, you don't need 20 pumpkins either. So it's a never-ending battle. But anyhow, that's a story for another time. Today we're going to be trying our hand in making what I would consider a quote-unquote knife maker's sanding block. Why I say quote-unquote? Because I don't want you guys to get the wrong impression like I'm some kind of professional knife maker or anything like that. Pump the brakes there, guys. I am just learning. I always consider myself a lifetime student. I am just getting into knife making. I'm getting into stock removal knife making, and this is just my journey. I just want to document it and share it with you guys, and hoping that you guys actually like it. Anyhow, let's jump straight into it. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Before we even get started, if you guys have any feedback, I would love to hear it down below. Like, seriously, I would love to hear it down below, because there are plenty of you guys that are pros out there, professional knife makers, woodworker, guys that work with your hands all the time. I am all self-taught. So if you see something that I'm doing wrong, that there's a better way to do it, or if you think there are more efficient ways to do it, I am all ears, guys. I am always open to learn. So definitely share your thoughts down below, and let's get started. So this is what we came up with. So where I got this inspiration from is actually from just a wood scraper. If you don't know what a wood scraper is, it basically looks something like this, and it has a piece of blade sticking out of it at the bottom. Is for scraping wood to kind of like create a more smooth surface instead of sanding. And that's where I got my inspiration from. The reason I created a double-handed sander like this is because I see a lot of times there are a lot of knife makers that just grab a wooden block and just pinch it, you know, and just pinch the sandpaper on it. And I figure that might create some like fatigue in your hands. Instead, we could just grab onto this and start sanding back and forth. And another thing is I get a little bit more of a smoother motion when I'm using my whole body. When I have both hands for leverage, I kind of get a little bit of a smoother motion. So I think this is what I'm going to try to use. It might not be super like quick to change or efficient, since you have to unscrew these screws, these wing nuts and things like that, just to change it out. So it might evolve over time, but this is the initial design. And then another thing that this also does is pretty cool. What I mean is, what is really cool about this is it is actually reversible. That's why I notched both sides for the bolt through the holes. Like, there are the bolt hole notches up here, and there are also bolt hole notches down here too, to keep the bolts from moving when you're screwing and tightening it down. I'll show you. Alright, so this is what I mean by it is reversible. As you can see, the wing nuts and like the whole assembly, it's just been reversed. So the bolts just stick in the other way, and then it locks in a small piece of sandpaper in there, and it is also on an elevated surface. The reason is, when I was making this, I figured this out because I thought, okay, well, this big surface will be great for when you're hand sanding and sanding, you know, from like your bolster to tip. Okay, doing your, what would you call that, vertical or horizontal lines? I'm not sure, but anyhow, from your bolster to tip when you're doing the sanding. But this is not going to work. Like, this flat surface is not going to work when you're doing from your spine to your edge kind of sanding. Like, this is just going to get in the way, right? You can't even get in there. So I thought, if we can reverse this and use this as a sander too, this elevated surface will be perfect for it. And, you know, you just kind of figure shit out when when you're making something. So I figured this is a two-sided sander now, and you can do your spine to edge sanding with this without any issues. And then also, when you actually remove this small block right here, the reason I actually notched this or like angled it is so you can have like smaller, like more detailed sanding, and like get into like the small grooves and things like that. Like, you can actually, you know, wrap a piece of sandpaper and go into the small grooves and things like that. But who knows? Like I said, this might end up as firewood later on, as I am starting to make actual like diving deeper and getting more experience into knife making. That this is probably just too slow to change out all the time. That, like I said, this might just end up in firewood, as firewood. But as for right now, this is what we have. This is my version of the knife maker sanding block, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And like I said, if you have any feedback, I am more than happy to hear it down below. Like, comment down below. I love talking to you guys, and I'll talk to you guys down in the comments. And if you guys like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Help me support and build my workshop, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.